or almost afternoon. My bad. I went and partied last night. My bad. Right here. I had a concert. Was up all night. That's what we do. We stay up. Team no sleep. I'm sure D's in the background. What she called? Oh, team no sleep, team no blink. My glasses are falling up because I'm hot. All right. Make sure I give the shout outs this morning. I see y'all in the comments. Mm-mm-mm. Adele, what's going on? Sorry for the wait. What's going on, D? Good morning. Alexa here to learn. Oh yeah, Adele, wearing your crown. Afri P, what's going on? Don Watts or Donald, what's going on? Corey, good morning. How are you? Hope everything is well with you and everybody else. Dante, what's going on? How are y'all doing? Are y'all ready for today? For today's show? Casey Native, good morning. Are y'all ready for today's show? I don't know if you are. Um, I tend to go over a lot of information. I got a lot more to go. A lot of information probably gonna run us a little over. I don't know. We're gonna walk through. We're gonna see what it do. We're gonna see what happens. Good morning, Latrell. Professor Black Ops, what's going on? I hope y'all enjoyed the show last night. We had I was getting ready to say we had Donnie Hathaway on, but we had Scott Hanselman on last night. He's over at Microsoft. Again, he wasn't representing Microsoft last night. We're talking about the WSL, which is the underlying Linux subsystem on Windows or your even Windows Home. So we got into that. We got into talking about containers. We got into talking about what the kernel is, how important it is. We even talked about you as a beginner starting out your career. He's more or less, I know, right? He's more or less like me, agnostic. Whatever get the job done, whatever you know what I'm saying. Put me in the game, coach, and that's what we're doing, right? Yeah. So if you didn't get a chance to check out Scott on social media, you should check out Scott on social media. You should also check him out on Twitter. I think he's really active on Twitter, and keeps going on there. Um, between Scott and Kelsey Hightower, um, I think Rudy is active on Twitter. He may be more active on LinkedIn, not sure. Scott, Kelsey, Amy are pretty all active on Twitter. If you have not catch those three shows, you can catch those shows on our YouTube channel, with Amy Rich, with Kelsey Hightower, with I think Kelsey Hightower's show 18 or something like that. Or I may be wrong. Yeah, show 18 on How We Linux. I think that's the show. Need to go back and label that so y'all can find it easily. But nevertheless, you're here and good morning. You woke up. Some people didn't make it this morning. Some people are struggling to make it this morning. All right, let's go. So I'm Tam. In the back is D. We're Women in Linux. You can find us all out throughout social media at womeninlinux.org. You can hit well, you can find us on social media at Women in Linux, and you can also find us on womeninlinux.org. If you would like to connect with us, we don't have a Discord. We have a Slack channel. You can join us in Slack. Drop your email in there. It will send you an actual email, and you'll join our Slack channel from there. You do need the Slack app. It is best used on the desktop, or your tablet works great too. On the phone, I know it can be a little daunting when you're trying to type or what have you, unless you have a pen or something like that, or if you want to see stuff that's pinned in the messages and so forth. So best used on the phone. I mean, not on the phone, but on your desktop or your computer or your tablet. All right. And if you would like to donate with us, you know, it's time for us to upgrade. on the website too. If you like to donate with us, you can donate with your time. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. And donating with your time could be sharing your journey. It could also mean that you donate with us by just writing a blog post or sharing your experience with others. Retweet this, share this on Facebook, share this on Instagram. Mention, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox here in a minute. The best way to ever grow the people around you is to mention their names in other rooms where they're not present. So if you ever want someone to, and that comes with relationships, um, I don't think we do enough to talk about how to build those relationships and so forth. And it's not just in tech; it's just in general, right? You never know when the person that's sitting next to you could change your life, or the person that may mention your name in that room that you're not even in could change your life, right? So we have to be very cognizant of these things and who we have surrounding us, right? And last but not least, you if you click on donate here, it take you to PayPal. All proceeds go to us. It does not go to PayPal, right? So just want to put that out there. All right. So before I get into my talks, I do want to say this. I do want to say that surround yourself with people who are not fearful of your success. And that comes from friends, family, and extended family and so forth, right? So you have to surround yourself with people who are not fearful of it, right? And sometimes along your journey, you're going to find people who are fearful of their own success, meaning that they never saw themselves in a successful capacity. And that's kind of dangerous because sometimes people are self-sabotaging because they don't even see themselves in a position to be successful. So it is an inner fight that you would never win with that person, because you see more for that person than they see for themselves, and that's something that they just don't see in themselves. And it may not be, it could be a number of things, but it may or may not be that the fact that the person has never seen success, because you could be successful but they just don't like you, right? So you have to be cognizant of the energy you keep around you and the energy that is going to come around you, meaning the energy you don't even know that's out there, right? So you just got to be cognizant of it. That's why I try to bring on different guests. I try to show you tech from different perspectives, and I also try to just not, I don't want to say influence you, but open your mind up to what it could be. Because some people have never even thought about what it could be. They only see what they want, or have a limited vision of what they of where they're at, right? So you have to be cognizant of these things. So um, I'm not gonna stay on my soapbox too much longer. I just want to put that out there that oftentimes success isn't right now. Success could be in a year. It could be in 2 months. It could be in 5 months. It could be in 5 years. But you have to understand that along your journey, I don't want to say there are going to be obstacles because we already know that. There are just going to be people that are not going to understand where you're going and what you look like, right? Because again, people look at you and try to make your journey about themselves, and it's not about them. It's about me sharing with you. It's about me being able to, show you the things that I have done. But it may not necessarily be your journey, but that doesn't mean my journey is greater than yours or anything of that nature. We all have our paths to um, go down, and the steps that you take along those paths, right? Like they say, I can give you the blueprint, right? I can give you the same blueprint to five different people, and how they execute it will be different. Doesn't mean that one execution is better than the other. It's just what they chose, it's what they knew how to do, or what they attempted to do. Soapbox done. I just wanted to make sure we got that out there, because I see a lot of I just see a lot of different things. Just not even, and this don't even have nothing to do with like on YouTube, but just even in just working with people, like I could tell that some people don't even understand like success comes on different comes in different forms and shapes. All right, so Sunbreeze, I do see that when you become successful, people let you down. I'm grateful to have five people like you. Thank you. They do. Um, and it's, and sometimes when people let you down, they don't even know they're letting you down. Oh man, I could go on about that. Um, there's a when sometimes when people are letting you down and they don't know it, it's because the letdown is the norm for them. In other words, it's so normal that it's so normal for them that it's just ingrained in them, that that's just what they do. Like just a normal thing. You know how some people just wake up and they automatically are just, some people wake up and they just may be, angry, 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 and you're around them, you're like, damn, they wake up angry every day. It's just some people that are like that. It's just sometimes just ingrained them, and it's not an excuse. It's just sometimes somebody's never pointed out to them, or people did point it out to them, and they was like, "We just don't fool with that person no more." All right, so you got to pick and choose. You got to pick and choose that battle right there. Um, Adele says, "Journey God puts people where you need to be, listening to His words of wisdom and acting on same or different." After P says, "Sometimes your closest people don't understand what it takes for you to be successful, and unintentionally interfere with your process." Exactly. Again, it's not that they're bad people. It's just a journey that they never have taken. Right. It's just somewhere they have not been. Right. Um, Even when we're, you know, like I said before, I say it again, when I'm talking or whatnot, and I'm talking about 200K and Series 65 or starting investments, people laugh at me. And they were like, It's not sustainable for people to make 200,000. It's not sustainable for people to even, um, for even companies to pay for that. And all the only thing I can say is this: if DoorDash has engineers making 400,000 and up, and we've seen this. If we have uh when we had X4 Technologies on paying 300,000 and 700,000, and I've shown you multiple jobs paying 200,000, 250, 300,000, and people keep saying that it's not sustainable. And I and I, I we've been doing this for a whole year, right? Showing you jobs, where they're at, invite people on, skills, blah blah blah. And they keep saying it's a tech shortage. And now it's to the point where Facebook is like, yo, stop poaching people. We can't afford our engineers to be gone. We need to pay them more, right? Um, that's a problem. I even I don't even I think I don't know if I'm bringing it up this show or next show, but we're gonna talk about Amazon changing their pay scale because people are leaving them in droves because they don't pay enough money. I've said that for years. No one listened to me. They're like, no, but it's Amazon. No, they don't pay nothing, right? So they had to come up with a new pricing structure. And I already said it before. I told you about it last year, where people are going to start changing those vesting channels where you know people are like, "Yo, I'm not staying with you for 4 years to wait for my money to accrue when I can go over here and they're gonna give me this as my base, and on top of that, gonna give me something to accrue for 4 years plus a sign-on bonus. So why would I stay with you?" So that pricing model was talked about last year. It is starting to come down the pipes. The startups are changing, and I talked about this last year, of what that looks like. So be prepared. Like these, you thought we saw bigger salaries last year. No, those salaries getting ready to be off the chain. And if you don't have your skill sets up, and if you're not plugging away every single day, 30 minutes to an hour a day, like 30 minutes to an hour a day, just like get on the elliptical, get on the treadmill, put it on your phone, and just let it play. Just soak up acronyms, right? Even though it may be alphabet soup, soak up the acronyms. Write the acronyms down that you hear somebody say, and then write the definitions down. Soak it up. Like we're at the point now where you just either you're in it or you're not, right? It is what it is, and I I I I refuse to be left behind because just I made that mind up when I was um 25, right? I was like, I'm not gonna let technology be the reason why I can't do something. I refuse. And that's just where I'm at. Right? It, it is what it is. All right, soapbox now. I'm done. I'm done. I ain't gonna say no more. Let's get into it. Cause I can go. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, let's get it going. I didn't even know these people were going public. I didn't even know they went public. How about that? All right, Mattress Firm files for an IPO 6 years after the betting chain went private at a $3.8 billion valuation. Mattress Firm ticker symbol is MFRM. Filed publicly Friday for an IPO that will return the betting retailer to the public market some 6 years after it went private. Um, 3.81 billion. I was supposed to do this a long time ago. We were supposed to go through and talk about S1 filing. I'll save that for I'll read through this one, but I want to really break down what everything means in the S1 filing, so you can understand how to read that. Remember this conversation that I had last night, and I talk about this all the time inside of our meetup on Wednesdays. I talk about this. I've been on Clubhouse and talked about this. Um, the fact that when these financials come out and these businesses come out, we are not even looking at the business side of these companies, right? Where are they going? What are they investing in? Especially when we start talking about renewable energy, solar panels, EV. What's the business behind it? What industries are they trying to tackle? So forth and so on. Those are just things to be cognizant of when you're trying to figure out what job you want or what have you. Like, you know, you you may get a bigger company like a IBM or a Ericsson or Verizon that has their hands in multiple pots. When you think Verizon, you probably think telephones, right? But in 5G, but Verizon is so much more than that. Go do we should do a case study on the Fortune 500 companies. I should go out and just and do a case study on all these companies so you can understand the technology, where they're going, how Linux is in that because we're all about Linux and cloud and security, and how that plays out, and start coming up with career paths if you were to go down that route with some of those companies. Let me drop a one in there if you want to do something like that. where we focus and peel back the onion on. I mean, I could go to Fortune 500. I could do that every day. All right. Latrell said blockchain solidity, NFTs, new world, crazy money. I'm a little late, and I am a web developer, but getting in now. I want to be retired in 2 years. Yep. Um, um, I feel you. We'll go through this. All right. So let's get back. With the U.S. Security Exchange Commission, that certain of its private investors plan to sell 100 million of the stock via the initial public offering. The company, which announced in September that it confidentially filed to go public, provided a few details about the IPO plan, such as how many shares investors would sell, what price range they or pretty much what their price range they expect their stock when they launch. However, the chain did say it expects to list on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker MFRM. That's the same ticker that Mattress Firm, America's largest betting chain by store count, used prior to its exit from the NASDAQ in 2016. After South Africa's Steinhoff International took over the chain privately. Steinhoff offered 115% premium over where Mattress Firm shares had been trading at the time, but the chain struggled once and it went private. Okay, here we go. First off, Steinhoff suffered from a 2017 accounting scandal that saw its CEO quit. A year later, Mattress Firm filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. For now, look, they filed for 2017. They filed for Chapter. I'm assuming it's around 2017. They filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, but they're gonna go public at 3.8 billion. Right, you're never too late to start. That's right, Kiana. So Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the express purpose of getting out of the leases. Then they closed 700 underperforming stores. So they shrunk themselves down. Um, Ultimately emerged from bankruptcy a few weeks later, about 2,600 outlets, which it further trimmed back to 2,350 today. They're trying to get their money for them. They got to be trying to get their money for investors. All in, Mattress Firm reported net revenues rose 34.9% in the fiscal year ended in September the 28th to hit about 4.4 billion. However, higher expenses drove the company to a $165.1 million loss during the period versus 125.6 million profit earlier this year. And they go over their financials here, right in here. Again, here's the S1 filing. It's all on this page. Where again, like I said, I want to do a little bit more breakdown of these S1 filings. And also, I want to do a breakdown of those some of those Fortune 500 companies. I mean, like I say, we can go through them. The ones that I want to do are the ones that you never think about. And the ones that I want to do are the ones like the Anheuser-Busch. I want to do ones like I don't want to do Walmart, but I should because I think you think Walmart is just this regular place, and it's not, right. And I showed y'all this before with Walmart Labs, where this is their tech side, right? With Walmart Labs, when you start talking about Verizon and open source, and I showed you OpenStack that they're involved in, but here Verizon has their own open source web page and stuff. So again, they have their own set of code and stuff that you can go into and contribute to. Here are their community projects that Verizon has, and that's why I say I think when you all look at these companies, you're looking at these companies from a perspective of, can I work there? Yes, but I want you to start looking at the business side of the companies, where they're contributing to open source, what role are they playing? Because you got to remember, when they're contributing to open source, they're contributing to the supply chain of a lot of these projects that get implemented at different companies. When you look at Capital One, what I don't know what you think about Capital One, but you should be thinking Capital One and looking at them from an open source perspective. So if we go Capital One and we go open source, um, and then looking at their business, here's open source at Capital One. Um, yeah, here we go. Open source first, to contribute to over a hundred different projects where they're contributing at. Hygeia is one of the bigger projects that a lot of people use in tech. But this is how you really get into knowing who's in the community, forming relationships, asking for help, trying to understand, and taking things on. And again, you gotta. I don't look at when I look at Verizon. I don't look at Verizon as a telephone company. I look at them, or 5G. I look at them as a data company, right? Imagine how many lines of how much data Verizon or any of the telephone companies get on a daily basis. Not just the cable companies, but the data like Verizon across their lines, right? Not just across the satellite. I didn't even talk about that across the satellites. But again, when we say we have fiber ran to the building, somebody owns the fiber lines, right? Um, see Verizon. I'm gonna see who owns most of the fiber lines. I think at one time it used to be Sprint, but I'm not sure who owns all the fiber lines now. Is it still AT&T? Okay. Our analysis of fiber networks held by U.S. company found telcos in control of the three largest fiber networks: AT&T and Verizon alone combined for more than 2.2 million routed miles. Right. So you may think of AT&T as this phone company, but you got to think about AT&T like again when we talk about, let me get off my soapbox. When we talk about, hey, we're gonna build uh these cities like we did with Tulsa and so forth, who controls the lines? Who controls the data? Where's the data center? Where's the power coming from? Those are the major things that never get talked about. Is what we can build, but who owns, the underneath underlying infrastructure, right? Who owns that? Who owns the computers? Who owns the data coming for those computers, right? This is in 2020. Um, the 15 largest fiber optic companies in the world, right? Let's go down here. Let me see if they're gonna give me a list. Of course not. Let me see. It looks like it's embedded in here. I'll go through this. We'll save this for the next show. I'll make sure I copy this and I'll save this for the next show. I'll drop this in the notes. I'll drop this in the D. Put this in the notes for the next show. Um, you can put it anywhere in the notes for the next show because I got too much stuff to go over. Getting off my tangent here. All right. So again, S1 filing, how people move, how companies operate, breaking down those, where they're contributing at, right? When you start seeing people contributing to some of these open source projects and creating their own thing, read about what they're doing, why, what is the why behind it, why did they create this, what problem are they solving internally to the company, right? We got Kubernetes because there was an internal problem that Google had that they solved, and Kubernetes came out. It was originally called the Borg, and then it moved into what is now called Kubernetes. All right, so we can't go to Yahoo Finance and look this up. I would, but again, they filed. I just wanted to bring the light. I didn't even think Mattress Firm would be worth 3.8 billion. Who knew? But here you go. That's why we do this show, to find out what they're doing or whatnot. I'd be curious as to see what Mattress Firms um let's go. I spelled it wrong. Um Tech stack maybe. I mean, I don't know if they would even have a tech stack, but yeah, we go over here and find out. That's what we do. Let's drop down here to careers and see what we got here. They was Actually, I even have a blog. I'm just curious as to what they talk about. Sleep on the blog, possibly. Let me see. A buying guide to selecting the right mattress. They have last minute Christmas gifts, your ultimate guide to bed pillow sizes. So content creators, everybody's always asking me how you get into tech. Here's another way, right? You go work for mattress firm creating content for mattress firm on with their blogs and so forth. Everything you want to know about Bunky. I don't know what Bunky is, but whatever. Buying guide, mattress accessories, teen pajamas or teen birthday suit. The best luxury mattresses. Ooh. 5 tips to staying cooler. The benefits of a weighted blanket. So again, you could be like, I'm team no sleep, team no blinkers these days. But luxury, what is the best luxury mattresses? I'm just curious. Rabbit hole, I know. The best luxury mattresses, brands, and beds. Best luxury mattress. Let's see who we got. Okay, they have Beauty Rest, uh, Pressure Smart Lux 15 pillow top mattress, Temper Pro Breeze 12-inch Sealy Hybrid Premium Silver Chill, Serta Eye Comfort. And you probably can look these up. This is all public information. They go on to talk about the cost of these mattresses, 37 to 37.99 to 5,000, 21 74 to 26.99. Looks like this 5,001. This Temper Pro Breeze is the most expensive one. I'm assuming that you can blow air through the mattress as you're laying on it. I'm assuming that's what that is. Let me see. Um, Let me blow this up some. Do 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 do. Um, let's go back to this. They talk about the smart climate, dual cover system, pure cool phase change material, temper dash CM material, and original temper material. I'm assuming, I hope this bed lifts and raises up, right? I hope it does. But again, check it out. That's a blog, right? So let's go over here to sell. They got sale careers, corporate careers, supply chain careers. I mentioned our history. So let's go over here and check out their corporate careers. Do, do, do. Come on. Okay. So we have, let's go. Let me see if they got some kind of sorting here. All right, so it looks like places like Houston, they have 4 virtual, Hicksville, New York, and then nationwide. And it looks like they have a real estate group. So those that are in real estate, marketing, sales, and information technology. It looked like they only had 2. So let's drop that down. So a retail IT analyst, and IT quality assurance analyst. The one is in Houston, Texas, and one is nationwide. So they do have some type of technical thing, you would think, because they're maintaining websites and doing transaction with your account and running credit and so forth, right? You would think they would have, those things. So again, you can check them out. They do have some technical jobs. They do have some real estate there. HR journalist, director of corporate counsel, a lease analyst, continuous improvement manager in the supply chain. Um, Trailblazer division contract researcher. Don't know what that is. Just found it curious. Essentials: create strategic source planning and execute no executive creative creatively on a variety of platforms. Available resources within the an assigned division. Provides recruiting support for TA specialists. I'm not sure what TA is. Somebody can check that out. By sourcing viable candidates within the assigned division, Non-essential responsibilities, education, a high school diploma, a business degree in human resources, and so forth. Experience in customer. His word gets different right here. Experience in customer focused environment. Previous sales, hospitality, or retail experience. Experience solving problems creatively in a fast-paced, forward-thinking environment. Knowledge of social media and networking sites, including LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Competency with Microsoft, including Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. Upholds mattress firm's core values. I'm not gonna read through those. 8+ hours, so maybe 10-hour days. Um, but that's interesting. That is what you're doing on a Trailblazer division contract researcher. Um, Again, very interesting name and title. Um, for what it said, manages external job advertisements on company utilize sites and resources. Right, but it's more, it seems like more imaging than anything. Uh, Protecting the image of a mattress firm. I'm wondering how that's going to look when they go public and what that looks like when they start to expand. Right. I hadn't read the comments. Let's see. Casper IPO. Let's see. I'm reading comments. Oh no. Thank you. Thank you. You say I like the way you think. Thank you. Yep. Yep. You're gonna learn today. Yep. 3,700 for mattresses. Up to $5,000 for a mattress. Um, I told you we can go on. All right. So, um, I'm gonna go random here, D. So right now I'm on crypto. So in case you wanna get your banners and stuff. All right. So a high number of first-time home buyers indicate selling crypto supported down payments. This is according to Redfin. I talked about this I don't know, probably about 2 weeks ago. Who's more invested in crypto? It would be millennials and everyone down more so. More than, I mean, I don't even think we can include the baby boomers in that. I don't see a there maybe let me clarify this. I don't see a large majority of baby boomers being invested in crypto. They're still trying to figure out, like, you know, when what we eating and retirement. I'm retired or whatnot. They see it and they hear it. They just ain't doing it. And it'd be on you as the kid or as the younger person in the family to probably get them into it. And that's probably like, give me $50, and I'll go invest it for you. But they gonna let you take their life savings and go invest into that. That ain't happening, right? All right. So when I read this article title, I immediately thought about millennials and down are buying using crypto to buy real estate. I think, and we're gonna start seeing numbers shift over time. I posted a notes. I posted some stuff inside of Slack. Let me pull that up because it's important to mention that along with this as well. I spoke about this a while. I spoke about this for us as a while. The great wealth transfer, right? It's been said, right, that the boomers are the richest, right? So when we talk about this, the pandemic sped up deaths for a lot of people, especially a lot of older people, which meant that kicked off the wealth transfer, right? So when I went back and looked at the numbers for Gen X and millennials, the boomers had some of the millennials, because I there's no way I could have a 37-year-old son unless I had my cycle at 10 and got pregnant at 10 at the same time and then went from there, right? That's the only way I that would be out, could see that, right? What's happening is, and what has happened in the what last year to a year and a half is now Gen X actually has more money than the boomers and millennials. Millennials only make up 5% of the wealth. Originally, before Gen X only made up 20%, and then the rest was boomers. But now Gen X has now outpaced the in the wealth gap, or I should say, in wealth, in a totality. Gen X has outpaced the actual boomers. With that being said, as well, there are more boomers than any concentrated population. And after the boomers is millennials. So that's a should be noted there. I think it's like 11.1 million uh millennials, and it was like 8.8 million Gen Xers, and then I think it was like 35 or 34.5 million um boomers, right? So boomers is the biggest, right? And they're the richest, which by sure numbers, I guess you could play that. But if the if I go Gen X, right? All right, so a total transfer of 30 million to as high as 70 million may be coming to the following to the under generations. I say under for a reason because you're after, or we say after, uh, yeah, after the boomers. So you and everyone else, right? Under that, right? So let's blow this up. As the country's largest generation moves more deeply into retirement, which is going to actually also cause a gap in a lot of older technologies. Some of these companies haven't moved off things, they're still floating around. So that's going to create more I want to say more leadership positions. If a lot of them were in leadership positions, it's going to also create more openings that we see in tech that we haven't seen before, and just throughout just different industries, right? Estimates about how much wealth would be transferred from baby boomers to the younger generations over the next 2 to 3 decades vary widely, from 30 trillion to as high as 70 trillion. All right, from 30 trillion to high as 70 trillion. And I one is another one. Do 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 do. All right, here we go. Let me pull this one over, and then we'll get back to that article. There's a reason why I'm doing this. All right, here it says, while millennials only count for 5% of the U.S., well, Gen Xers are doing better than ever. During the pandemic, this is what they were talking about here. Let me blow this up. Do. All right, come back. Yeah, I think that's big enough for you all right there, right? A little bigger. Just let me know. I think that's big enough right there. All right. So here they talk about Gen X saw their wealth jump from Donald Trump presidential term through the coronavirus. Gen Xers can be defined as currently between the ages of 40 to 55. They come after the baby boomer generation, and right before the Gen Y generations, which is millennials. I call these sisters and brothers, whatever. Gen X hit a major turning point last year when its share of wealth was 26.9%, past its share of households, which is 26.8%. But what does that mean? That means that Gen X wealth had surpassed the amount of households they account for in the population, right? And it goes on to talk about Trump and so forth and so on. But I want to show here why baby boomers account for 33% of the households right now. Members in this generation still hold 52.7% of the U.S. household net worth. 52.7%. So your mom and your dad or your grandmother and your dad, depending on what generation I'm talking to here, hold 52.7% of the U.S. household net worth. And so when I see these numbers like this right here, I start to go down this path. What are you doing to secure making sure these trusts are set up, making sure these estates are set up, your living wills, what are you making? What are you doing to ensuring health, and of that person, of or those people, whatever. What are you doing to make sure that whatever that wealth or that money is doing, or real estate is staying in your family? Right, we got 52.7% of this, and this is why this number here, higher number of first time home buyers in the come from crypto. What's important about that is, we all know that uh, the biggest way that people have amassed wealth in the U.S. is through real estate. All right. So now you have to ask yourself, well, what do they have in their wealth portfolio? There was reported people who used a thrift savings plan, and this was I talked about this last year. The thrift savings plan millionaires. It was reported that most of those right here, how to become a millionaire in your TSP, but it was reported that right here, our August of 2021, I talked about this one. There are 98, almost 100,000 federal TSP millionaires, right? Thrift savings plan, right? And this thrift saving plans usually are your federal workers that have this. But again, these thrift saving plans, those people have been saving and putting their money in here. So get with these people, your family members, and making sure that that wealth stays within the family, right? Whatever that looks like, right? All right. It says boomers are sitting pretty, but but that net worth figure was up 55.8% toward the end of 2016. This article came out May 7th of 2021, right? Unfortunately, millennials aren't doing as well as their counterparts. The generation encompasses between the ages of 24 to 39. I think the rule of thumb is you don't really start to accumulate and amass wealth until you're between 40 and 45. It's what I have been reading. So, you know, if you can get it younger, great, right? Millennials own less than 5% of the U.S. Household net worth, but account for 30% of the households, right? And so that's what they talk about there. Let me see. Let me drop down here. All right. The data shows that the rich households continue to expand their wealth while others struggled. By the end of 2020, the top 1% of 1.29 million households added 4 trillion to their wealth, and this group owns 31.4% of stocks and real estate assets. Stocks and real estate assets. The bottom 50% saw a slight increase of net worth from 1.8% to 2%, while still incomparable to the wealth pouring into the top 1%, right? Into the top 1%, right? So 52% of what the boomers own, right? And so again, they're saying that, and again, we got to go back and understand what the 1% is, right? The top 1% of the 1.29 million households, you got to go back and understand what that is. I talked about this the other day. The number of deca millionaires. Did I talk about that? Let me talk about it last week. It's only 1.8 million people in the U.S. that has amassed a net worth, excluding their primary household, excluding their primary household, of 10 million. That's excluding their primary household, right? Let's drop down here because you know they always separate us out in these things. On the plus side, Black and Hispanics people slightly narrowed the gap between their shares of net worth and household, but the gap is still large. Black households started the pandemic with 4% of the household net worth and accounted for 14% of the households. A year later, the black population accounts for 4.1% of the household net worth. Progress was stagnant for the Hispanics, who account for 9.3% of the household and 2.4% of the household net worth. Still, Black and Hispanics are not bringing in as nearly as much as their white counterparts. uh, white household white household net worth is about 4.5 times the average of Black family and 5.5 times that of white family counterparts. We'll open this up. I mean, I got a lot more to show, but I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna save some because D gonna. I know D gonna be mad. Um, Let me go. Let me do this. So I don't know why we went over here and had Jay Z pop up over here off of this White Household Network. I don't know why that came about. That's a bad link. Yeah, it links to Jay Z. I don't know why. Billionaire Jay Z net worth increases 40% following LBM and Square. I don't know why that went to Jay Z there. I don't know why. Bad link. All right, so let me go back and close this one. Let me go back over here and grab this. I think I clicked this is the Federal Reserve. All right, so here's their comparison chart, distribution and chart. I'll drop this link in the chat where you can go start doing a comparison. You could look and see what over time, right? Here's the silent and earlier generation. I think we talked about this. They do not have the great. I think it's called the greatest. Is it called it the greatest depression or the greatest something? They don't have that generation up here on this one, but they do have the silent generation, the baby boomers, the Gen X, and the millennials, and they have it as far back as '89 as to you start seeing the numbers increase and so forth, right? So you can go check this out. I'll give this to you, decompose this, and you can go through and read it. The reports, excuse me, that you can run off of here for your own edification. When people start talking about numbers, where they're getting those numbers from, this is coming directly from the Federal Reserve. So I don't have no reason to lie to you. Right? People make up stuff, but here are the facts, right? Are their numbers probably skewed? Yeah, some people probably don't report their income or classify as or identify as something or whatnot. All right, so first time home buyers, with the crypto housing market, like remember you probably have to cash out on some of these um in order to buy, but again the housing market, like any other sector, has been impacted rapidly, increasing the usage of digital currencies as a mode of payment. With surging home prices leading to larger down payments, home buyers are finding non-traditional ways, and Kiana, we talked about this, to cover the cost and compete with other bidders. Redfin Q survey Q4 indicated that one in nine first-time home buyers, 11.6%, surveyed said selling cryptocurrency had helped them. What I'm curious about when we look at this, because this really gets into it, who's doing the underwriting for these for this, right? Because you got to account for where your money come from. How are the banks, if they're going to a regular bank, handling money coming from crypto as selling of assets, right? Or do they not handle that? But this is again non-conventional or non-traditional ways, right? Um, and they just go into Doge and Ethereum and Doge and Bitcoin and a quick look at prices, and they give like this overall survey, right? But I also talked about last week, where people are being placed by JP Chase Morgan for the new Deca millionaires and their and their portfolios. The four places, and keep these places in mind, was California, it was Florida, and in Texas it was Austin and Fort Worth. California, Florida, Texas. In Texas, it would be Austin and Fort Worth were the four places. That's important because now you can go into those different locations and start looking at where those deca millionaires are and where, because they're hiring 1,500 people. And it's not just JP Chase that's hiring, it is a lot of the other fund managers are hiring more people too. There's a massive hire for financial advisors and planners to manage these portfolios, right? All right. So, um, yeah, that was it for that one. I want to report that. All right. Do do do. Let's see where I want to go next. Let's go here. We saw Chevy increase this week, right? Did anybody see Sony's um new car? You saw Sony's new car? Well, here you go. Chevy's flagship truck is also going electric. The Silverado EV, 39,000. Here's what it looks like. Um Again, here's where I'm thinking when we're talking about EV, and I've talked about this before. Installing these stations at people's homes for charging is one. The design of these charging stations, where do they sit, where are they getting their power from? And also your places like your McDonald's, your Wendy's, your fast food restaurants, um, even the valet locations, right? I could even see the changing of valet, right? What does that look like to valet park? Say you ran so many miles and you want to charge your car, right? But you want a valet park. What does that look like? Will the valet have like portable charging stations? What is it? Or will somebody create a company? Uh, and this is getting me thinking, right? I'm driving down the highway and I'm running out, or battery starts acting up. What does that look like for roadside assistance to come help you get a charge? What does that look like? Where how do we manage that? um how do you give indicators like, hey, these people are running out of power, blah blah blah. You're sitting in a snowstorm and you're running out of power, what have you, right? Just thinking outside the box there, just business ideas. Chevrolet unveiled the long-awaited electric Silverado on Wednesday. The pickup offers up to 400 miles of range, over 600 horsepower. Orders open Wednesday. The fully loaded RST first edition model costs 105 and arrives next fall, right? Chevrolet's answer to Ford's F-150. Again, Ford stocks was up. They doubled uh, uh, in the last week or two. I think I got a return on Ford like 110% or something like that. So there's that. General Motors, CEO Mary Barra unveiled the battery powered pickup during a presentation at CES. Have y'all been keeping up with CES? I'm going to do a special report on CES probably tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe later on today. Maybe I should do it later on today. Months after the truck was first announced, we finally know a bit about the historic Silverado EV, and that's what it looks like, right? So be on the lookout for that. Ford, not Ford. Ford's ticker symbol is F. Chevy's ticker symbol, I think Chevy falls on the GMC, right? I think Chevy may fall under GMC. Yeah, GM. It falls under GM. So GM would be the ticker symbol, right? And let's go to Yahoo Finance and we'll look at GM and we'll look at Ford. Let's look at Ford first so you can see what I was talking about with Ford, with their ticker symbol being F. And let's look out for the past 6 months. We can see that was on the rise, right? January the 4th was 24. You can see this right here, December the 28th to January the 4th, right? Big rise, right? Big rise right there. And then GM, we'll go look that out for the past 6 months and what that looks like. Um, so they had a big dip here in December 20th, and then shot up, probably that announcement, and now it's back down. But it's not literally nowhere as low as here. So if they whoever was playing an options call or something like that, um, they probably got over it. If they were playing options on that, right? We'll talk about some options. Right? All right, next up, I got 3 minutes. I got a lot of stuff, but again, we're gonna talk about this. Mm, maybe. Mm, let's do this one. I don't think I'd say I was gonna save it, but we'll do it here. This is what I was talking about because I got a lot of stuff on the other show too. Amazon considers changing how it distributes employee stock options to stem the exodus of top talent. Amazon is weighing a slate of compensation changes to stem a tide of exits. One proposal to implement monthly vesting for some Amazon Web Services employees who are top tier. Again, they're limiting that. I don't know how you classify top tier coming in, but level 7 and above. Proposals come as Amazon faces employee complaints about low pay and an exodus of top talent, right? Low pay, all right. Amazon has been exploring on ways to stop the exodus of top talent. I would hop down here and go to this one. Two people familiar with the plan said Amazon Web Services is considering moving to a monthly vesting schedule for employees who are level 7, principal or higher, and for roughly 15% employees who receive a top tier rating in the annual performance review. An Amazon spokeswoman said such a proposal is not underway, nor is it something the company has centrally considered. Um, it's not underway. The proposal is just one of several compensation changes by Amazon. I'm gonna click on that link. Amazon, like Apple and Facebook, is starting to see rocketing competitions from startups. I keep trying to tell you the actual wages are going up. The ones who have the talent, the ones who have the skills, um, if you're in it, first off, get in the game. You gotta get in the game. Not in it, it ain't happening, right? Get in the game. I come every week, and I come every week showing you where it's going. We're talking about Amazon right now. I've said all the time, Amazon don't pay enough. People like, I'm gonna work at Amazon. I'm like, well, you ain't gonna make no money. I was just trying to tell you, and I've been saying it for years. It's not even like a thing. People are like, well, invest over time. It does, but if you looking at say you go work at this startup and this startup is giving you, 220 to start, and they're giving you your RSUs and a sign-on bonus, and it's gonna talk about it in this article, and it's kind of right here. Amazon max salary that they give as a base is 160, and then they'll add on after that. But a lot of people say, oh, I got more than 160. So now you're playing with whether or not a person can get over 160 or not. So you're not being consistent. But soapbox over. Amazon, like other big tech companies, including Apple and Facebook, is starting to see rocketing competition from startups and rivals willing to shell out millions. Startups and rivals willing to shell out millions to score top talent. I was just on Clubhouse the other day, where a couple of people were like, "Hey, yeah, a startup offered me to come work for them. They offered me 1.8 million to come work as a base, as a base, as a base, right?" In a statement, Amazon spokesperson said that the company knows that their employees and candidates have choices as to where they work, and Amazon regularly reviews compensation and benefits to ensure that our offerings are competitive. Um, it says it says Amazon is quietly, excuse me, hiring a team to communicate changes in the compensation, to talk to the internal people. Um, they go right here. Here it is. Base salaries at Amazon are capped at 160 in most locations. In most locations, relatively low to other major tech employers, right? Employees have complained about Amazon's compensation structure for years, but the situation appears to have reached a crisis point in recent months as Amazon's share price has stalled and competitors dangle lucrative compensation packages in front of prospective hires. Low pay emerged this year as one of the top issues, prompting employees to consider changing jobs, according to an internal Amazon survey conducted this year. Amazon executives are also quitting in droves, many to take more highly compensated jobs elsewhere. An Amazon spokesperson said that employees leave the company for many reasons outside of compensation deflection. Increasing vesting frequency could be one way to respond to Amazon employee gripes over pay without straying too far from the Amazon principles. People are like, screw you, pay me. Still, the change could be meaningful for some employees, according to the former Amazon employee who said the current compensation structure, including the vested schedule, is driving people away. Amazon employees are expected to work long hours, the employee said, and to see the amount you actually get paid every 6 months with the taxes taken out, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I say it all the time. People don't listen to me. They always come in here and they're like, Tameika, I want to go work for Amazon. I'm like, you're going to be underpaid. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Let me catch up on the contents. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not ignoring you. Back it up. Was just back of the back portion of the parking lot at my Publix. Church is now full of Tesla road charging. Yep, yep, yep. Yep. Now's the time to get in the game. Go work for Amazon if you want to. You better go in at a L7, and you better go on levels FYI and see what level 7 looks like, and go on blind and start asking questions if you're gonna go over there and work. But you're gonna need some skills. I'll lie to you and tell you that one. All right, let me do this one. I'm on the right one. Yep, I'm on the right one. All right. Anybody know who George Kaiser is? Do you know who he is? George Kaiser, Accelerate Energy files for an IPO. He's a billionaire. Go look him up. Um, Bank Financial Corporation, BOKF, right? Billionaire George Kaiser, LNG Energy Services provider Accelerate Energy, which is on the New York Stock Exchange as EE, unveiled its plans late Friday for an IPO. Accelerate said in the security filings that it intends to conduct an offering of Class A common shares on the New York Stock Exchange, ticker symbol EE. The company said it aimed to raise 100 million through the initial public offering, but that's likely just a placeholder number. The company didn't disclose terms like how many shares it plans to sell. Look who's in on it. Barclays, JP Morgan, and Morgan Stanley, JP Chase Morgan and Morgan Stanley are serving as joint lead book running managers for proposed offering, the company added. Based in Texas, Accelerate provides a range of services to the liquefied natural gas industry, including floating storage, regasification units, along with infrastructure development. The company's majority stakeholder is Kaiser, who Ford magazine lists as having 10.4 billion in fortune, making him the 76th wealthiest person and 476th wealthiest richest person in the world. In addition to his EE share, Kaiser holds a sizable stake in Bank of Oklahoma, like a Bank of Oklahoma, Bank of Oklahoma, owner of BOK Financial, BOKF ticker, and Oklahoma City Thunder pro basketball team. Right? If you ever wanted to know who he was, there you go. Billionaire. Accelerate Energy. Let's go check him out. Ticker symbol EE. I could have clicked on careers right there, but I just like the opening of their little site. Right? Let's go back. Let me make this smaller because I can't see how to close this. Let me go back. This won't let me close that right there. Let's go to careers. It's got some kind of. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't want to accept cookies. Let me go on. Let me open up on Firefox real quick. Mm, I should have Duck. I do have DuckDuckGo installed. I just don't use it. Um, Here we go. Oops. Here we go. Okay. Current openings. Compliance and risk officer, LNG fundamental analyst, and HSSEQ coordinator. That's what they got open now, and it's like for seafarers looking to join our fleet, please go to our crewing department. So they got a crewing department, right? Compliance and risk officer, right? That's what they have. There, those are the three that they had open, right? Compliance and risk falls under cyber if you want to look at it from that perspective. All right, let's see. Matchers. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. Back to crypto. All right, crypto. That's right, Donald Watts. You need to be liked if you're going to get more money. Like me. You petty. All right, Irisy Instant Bids. A 32-year-old earned 1 million from 67 JPEGs, JPEG NFTs he created from his bedroom while in lockdown. He breaks down the steps and the software he used to create them and the inspiration behind the project. Um, I guess it's a Emrit Paul Singh began creating 3D digital art while in lockdown. A year later, he turned them into NFTs and then ended up generating 1 million in 2021. He used paid software, but there are free versions, and he says you may need $100 to $200 for gas fees. And he gets into more about breaking it down. While he did that, I went on a search to find out some companies that could also help you with creating an NFT. This one came off of Product Hunt. So in this, she talks about creating NFTs on the Quest NFT platform. All right. Convert your social media posts into NFTs. All right. Gas free in 2 minutes. This came out December 22nd. So take your social media posts and turn them into NFTs. Here is here's what she talks about. This is 2 minutes long, but I'm not gonna run it the whole 2 minutes. I'm just gonna only run it just for a few, but I just wanted
To be introducing to you something we've been working
see it.
so hard on for the past few months. I'm so excited to introduce Quest NFTs platform, where you can mint your NFTs for free in under 2 minutes. So let's get started. I'll show you how you can go about doing this. So start by going to the login button on the main page. First, ask you to connect your MetaMask. So you need a MetaMask account in order to mint NFTs on our platform. There's a quick tutorial on how to go about doing that with the link here. But I already have MetaMask, so I'm going to go ahead and connect my account.
I'm gonna speed her up.
And then it's going to ask you to connect your Instagram access to Product Hunt.
Here we go.
Let's go ahead and select, let's say, this picture that I want to create an NFT of. Let's name this new NFT. Let's put a price of 0.2 ETH, and let's give a description to the NFT. Let's say new NFT. Let's just say like my
And it looked like she was connected to Instagram.
And you can choose how many NFTs you want to create. In this case, I just want to create a one of one NFT. And then you click on continue. So now it will take you to sign a few contracts. There'll be two signs that come up. The first one, and there you go, the second one, and voila, you're done. The next page is the page where you can see your newly minted NFT on your profile, which you can also share with anyone. And you can also view your NFT on Rareable's marketplace. So
I just want to point that out for those that want to make an NFT. It was easy and quick way to do it. Boom, there you go. Go on Product Hunt. I'm always on Product Hunt checking out stuff. Again, I wanted to show you in correlation to what he was doing, creating NFTs, and he talks about it more in the article. And we should probably do another. I should do a clean breakdown on how he did it. But I just wanted to show you how you could go and create your own NFT off your social media if you wanted to really quickly and easily. And go check out the video. D could post the link. I'm trying to make it so that you have ways to generate and make money. You could make money off of your pictures. Again, I when I look at this, I'm looking at what's their underlying infrastructure, right? So, Quest NFT, right? Their platform. And then let's look at their jobs. Let's go see. Let's see. Let's look at their team. Here is their team. Let's see. Right. And then I want to know if they're hiring, right? Our allies, Chainlink, Polygon, Binance NFT. And see our roadmap. And this is what they got planned. We're in 2022. They see they did initial NFT offering, token sales, Guardians mini game, first game card packs, road to 2023. So you still got time to get in. And let's look and see if they got any jobs. Maybe I'm missing something. Our allies, the marketplace is coming soon. So let's look up dreams, quest, jobs. Let's see, they're on. Let me see, what is this? Dream on cyberpunk, dreams on the side, blah blah blah. Dream quest jobs on Indeed. That don't look like it. I see Charles Schwab right there. It's all here. Let me see if they got jobs listed here. Nope, they don't have any jobs listed there. They got some posts, but I don't see nothing on their website. And maybe they're not ready to start hiring people. But I'm just curious as to where their platform is being housed. Right? Maybe it's internal. Who knows? I'll do some digging on that. But that's just to get you an idea. All right. Let me see. Is there anything that's kind of stand out here? Here we go. Okay, Sign created Zoom backgrounds so that people could use them. Coworkers who had seen his work began to reach out to him, asking him if he could turn his work into NFTs because they would be owned as original. At first, I was like, I don't understand. I googled it. And it seemed very technical, so I let it be. And he said, it was until until February 2021 that he began to finally consider his idea turning it into an NFT. He watched videos on YouTube and read a few articles about it and uploaded his work. toy faces and toy rooms. His two collections, made up of 68 NFTs, earned him 263 in Ethereum last year, according to his sales. Until his sales records viewed by Insider, these were worth about 922,000 based on ETH's trading price of around 3,500 on Thursday. A windfall he was not expecting. It's huge opportunity for anybody who is into digital arts, and that's what he did, right? So there you have it for that one, and you saw the one for Quest. Um, do. I know D. We're going over. I'm gonna stop in a minute at 1:30. All right. Google boosts base pay for four top executives from 1 million and handed them up to 34 million in stocks. Weeks after employees raised concerns about pay and inflation. Totally different than what I just talked about with Amazon. Who want to go work for Google? Who want to get in the game? Right? Google has boosted base pay for four top executives to 1 million. The move comes weeks after the search giant addressed pay questions from rank and file workers. Do you work at Google? Contact blah blah blah. Um, SEC file. Okay, here we go. Um, Chief Business Officer Phillips Schindler, and legal chief Kent Walker will see their annual salaries bumped from 650,000. All are eligible for a $2 million bonus if they help Google meet its social environment goals for 2022. Top exec package top The exec total compensation packages are considerably chunkier than taking equity into account when taking equity into account, as well as their increased annual pay. The executives were granted millions of dollars worth of performance and restricted stocks or RSUs, which previously vested at different times and depend on the execs sticking around. According to the filing, Porat and Walker were each granted 23 million total in stock units, and I guess Rabagon and Schindler 34 million total each. Chief Executive Sundar, I don't know how to say his last name. I guess is it Pichachi or Pi? Make that up, mess it all the way up. Annual base salary comes in at 2 million. He's eligible for a further 150 million in restricted and performance stocks if he stays at Google and meets certain performance targets. Google's finance are in good health following another record quarter in October, raking in $65.1 billion, and almost $20 billion in profit. Y'all like these numbers? These numbers are insane. All right. Tech executive resigns. Did y'all see this? After sending an email to CEOs and politicians sharing an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory about the guy, the person, the thing, and the vaccines. A founder of the Utah tech company sent an anti-Semitic email blast on Tuesday, resigning the same day. David Bateman is the founder of I guess Entrata, and a top political donor for the Utah GOP. He confirmed that he sent the email in a text to local news stations. Huh? Among the recipients was NBA Utah Jazz owner Ryan Smith, Governor Spencer Cox, and Silicon Slopes CEOs. KSTU reported. I write this email knowing that many of you would think I'm crazy after reading it. Bateman's email began. I believe that this is a sadistic effort underway to euthanize the American people. In conspiracy email, he falsely claimed that the vaccine were killing people, according to Forbes, and blamed the Jewish people, echoing centuries of old anti Semitic conspiracy theory. I pray I am wrong on this. Utah has got to stop the vaccination. Warn your employers, warn your friends, hide your kids. What is it? Hide your wife, hide your kids, and prepare to stay safe, said Bateman. That's what he said. I'm just putting down what he said in terms that we understand. He quit. Now, who and what is intro? And for you to write an email like that, you were secure. You were secure with your money. Property management software. Why is this important? Stay tuned for the next show. We will talk about what we call prop tech. You know, if you're familiar with that, prop tech. As looking at this, what's next for prop tech in 2022? More investment in construction optimizer for Gen Z renter. Prop tech. We'll talk about it. Prop tech. That's what that is. Prop tech. All right. All right. Last but not least, we'll finish up. Take it on home. Wall Street veteran trader turned Wall Street veteran trader turned crypto expert breaks down how Bitcoin and Ethereum could potentially reach 80,000 and 7,500. This was came out on June 3rd, and 7,500, and shares his six major trends on his radar in the year ahead. Right. Let me hop down here to his trends. Uh, 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 um, mm, mm, mm. Trying to get to his trends. I'm trying to get the ones that he's talking about. All right, here we go. All right. What are some of the key things and events in crypto on your radar for 2022? Spot crypto, EFT. It's already some EFTs out there. I mean EFTs. Yeah, EFTs. I thought I said wrong. Ethereum Manet will merge with Beacon Chain. Regulation on DeFi and stablecoin asset complex. Security tokens issuance and trading on alternative trading systems, crypto staking as a consumer product, and crypto company M&A. Right. Dia can drop this so you can go back through and read it. I didn't have time to read through that with you all today. I wanted to make sure I got through all the things that I needed to get through. I did. I'm going to talk about this other thing that I have here on a. Oh no, I can do that. That's the right show. On another one. Oh yeah, we'll talk about them on the other show. That's all right. That's all right. It's some stuff I left off. All right. Anything else before I get out of here? Let me read the comments. Make sure I got everybody on in and stuff. I thank y'all for rocking with us. I know it was long. I told you I had a lot, but then I also talked earlier. Do. Now's the time. Yup, to get in resources. See AWS. Yes. Any resource to see which AWS certifications are there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the AWS certifications being the best. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna put this on the screen. I'm not gonna talk about it because we're gonna talk about it on the other show. Where to go? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna talk about it on the other show though. I've been talking about it for months though. Are you a multi cloud engineer yet? We'll talk about it on the other show. Just want to point that out. Do. Let's see. I'm just going through messing up the bad words of word. T. You have a trust and an estate turning who's come on. Uh, you say you have one, or do I have one, or do I want one to come on, Kiana? I do want a trust and attorney to come on. Um, we're actually getting ready to build out our Patreon, and I got so much stuff set up for that, from car investing, watch investing. Oh, my phone got a crack in it. Oh no, that's dirt. No, yeah, we could plan it. Yep, I do. From car investing, how to see, people always say that cars depreciate in value, and it's car dependent. Um, if you look for GT3, Porsche GT3 or Porsche GT3 RS and so forth, the value for the GT3 before the pandemic, I couldn't find a GT3 used with low mileage around 120. You can't get a GT3 now, and this is before at least 2 years before the pandemic. You can't get a GT3 now under 225, 250, between 225 and 250. You just can't even find it. That's just how much that car has gone up. And this was before the pandemic. The pandemic just accelerated that. Watches, Rolex can't even keep nothing in stock. And then there are different Breitling and so forth. We'll get into that. What I've noticed is women watches don't appreciate in time. Women watches kind of stay stagnant. But if you want to invest in watches, that's another thing where people put their money at, because they know that watches are going to increase in value over time. It's kind of like holding, I don't want to say digital real estate. It's just holding an asset and watch it increase in time, right? So I'm bringing in people to talk about that, what to spot for, how to spot fakes, what you how to go out and look for these different investments. Um, I mean, it's just so much to talk about, from gold bars to silver bars, coins, um, what does that look like again? Just multiple different things. Like, you may not be into gold and silver, you may be into watches, or you may be into cars. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just showing you just different things that's out there, things that you can do, things that I've done, things I can or will start, right? I've been studying gold and silver bars and coins for about 6 months now, right? Yeah, I got it. We gotta finish it out. Yeah, there will be a link for the Patreon. Um, and the people who I have lined up, uh, these sessions, you're gonna need notes. Um, because they just got a lot of information uh to give, right? Yep. So again, I gotta go back and, but anyway, I'll say this. Do you all remember when gas was $1 a barrel? If you don't remember when gas was $1 a barrel, I talked about this with a group of folks over in, I think it was Finland or Switzerland. They bought in and bought gas and bought as many barrels as they could for that dollar, and now you could basically say they're not broke. They got a lot of money, And we had talked about it in bit about buying some barrels and just never did. Right? I'm gonna let D go eat. I'm gonna get me some water. Be back at 2. 2 be here at 2. Be here at 2. We're gonna start at 2 this time on time. Because I got a lot to go over. And we'll see you then.